Okay, another trip out to the tank for a load test. Oh, she's a little tipsy on the tongue there. This morning, it's the load test of our cylinder head job. Does that engine cover come open?
Put one of the shocks back on it, so
You can put them both back on. It's got one on there? Okay. Yeah, we're at quite an angle here. Our run tank's kind of low. Hasn't rained very much lately, and we're on a water well, so we try not to fill it up unless we just absolutely have to. Hey, that shock, you can put it on there, but don't worry about it. Just stick it on there and let's run this thing. We'll fix it when we wash it. Okay. Come on, let's light this thing. It's hot as hell out here. Trimming it down. Keys on, checking the trim gauge.
we got half a tank of gas like this.
Got half a tank of gas. Okay. You're down all the way. Pick it up just a little. That's a cold start first thing this morning. Oil pressure, temperature. I see a little fuel on top of the water, so we know the fuel injectors were working on a cold start. Hard to see the drive, but it's down there. Water's pretty clear. Right now that water's probably 6 foot deep. Usually it's a couple of feet high, or at least 1.5 feet. Everything looks good? Sounds good. Nice and smooth.
80 pounds oil pressure.
Which one's the temperature gauge? I can't see from here.
Next to the oil.
Okay.
It ain't even moved at all yet.
It hadn't even moved. Yeah. I wonder if it works.
Came up yesterday.
Oh, it did? Okay. Well, that water's pretty cold. Even though it's hot outside, the water's cold. Because it was a cool night in the 60s. All right, put it in gear. Let's help it warm up a little bit. Keep your eye on all the gauges. Look for any water and fuel leaks. Okay. Put a little load on it. Hey, be careful. It's going to pick the tractor up. That boat sits too far back on that trailer. That's okay, just let it run like that. Watch your temperature. You don't gotta look at me. Let me lower the tractor down a little bit, maybe that'll help. Oh, it won't lower? Too much weight. I don't know if this trailer does it take any more adjustment. That bow stop is already up as far as it can go. Temperature's coming up. How's your oil pressure? What? 80. And temperature is moving up to what?
First line, 120.
It's barely moving up.
I know, but it was...
Voltage looks good, almost 14 volts. Tachometer, what kind of RPMs we at? How many hours on this thing?
733.7.
733. Now that's probably the old engine. This engine don't look like it's got any runtime on it. The pistons were still shining. And they're 30 thousandths oversized, which is good. Well, we're not going to be able to really load it up. We're not going to be able to load it up because it's going to jump off of there. So we'll just run it a few more minutes and that's it. He'll have to take it on the lake. I mean, to me, it sounds good. So I feel like it's going to be okay, but just double check for any leaks. Here, Mikey, take this and look underneath the manifolds. The temperature's what? 125, slowly coming up. Yeah, that boat we just ran on the hose of the customer, the Jasper engine. He was having trouble getting it started. He actually flooded it, carbureted motor. Choke was set a little tight. That's my fault. But it barely saw 130 degrees running 15 minutes on the hose because the water was so cold on a water well, like I said. Right now, our rear tire is off the ground. That tire is rolling around. So this boat ramp design, I designed it myself, but this is set at 12 degrees, and then at about 10 foot, right about here, it goes to 22 degrees. And that's great when we got more water in it. You know, we can bring the boats in a little further, but right now we just can't. Oil pressure still looks good. $150 on the temp. Okay, let's keep watching the temperature. We want to make sure it's not going to overheat. Got both hands on the risers. That's a good sign. Good. Those exhaust hoses have gotten pretty hot. We had to replace one over there, that one, and the other ones we just tightened them up. Yeah, there's the old one. Seen them a lot worse than that, but no big deal. Piece of exhaust hose. Excuse me. Where we at? 162? Okay, it's an EFI motor, so I don't know what thermostat's in it. I can't remember. 165 thermostat maybe. There's what's left of our awnings off the front of the building. They landed there after the hurricane. It also tore the hell out of this one and ripped that side off. We haven't had time to go fix it. Winter project, always something to do. What we at? 160. So it went down, went up to like 162 and fluctuating a little bit. That's good. All good? Need some in on this for the customer. A little above 160. That's the hair. What's it at? I can't read it, y'all. It's the hair above 160. Okay, that's good, huh? Yeah. You know, you could put it in reverse.
I was going to.
Let's try reverse. Let's see how it reacts. Reverse is a hard shift on this son of a bitch. Excuse my French. Give it a little gas. Let's see what happens with the tractor. Yeah, there you go. Hey, don't goose it. Just bring it up. Look at your tack. That way we can put a load on it. Bring it up higher. He's nervous. He never does it in reverse. It's a dual prop on there. Come on, man. Bring that dude up a little more. Hey, come on, a little more. That's my son. Look at this dumb bastard laughing at him. There's a more. What kind of RPMs is that? 18? We're good. Put it about 25. Starting to cavitate a little bit. Watch your temperature. Look at this, we're emptying the 170. Hey, okay, easy back. Hey, go to neutral. I don't mean to yell at you, but we're emptying the tank, so you're gonna start losing water. You're gonna lose water and you're not gonna pick up water, and that's gonna cause your temperature to fluctuate. Plus the props are cavitating, so remember it's pulling backwards, so it's washing the water away from the pickup, right? So we're starving the water pump a little bit We don't want to do that very much, right? Right, I don't know how many gallons that is, but the tank is lower now.
It's going to about 168 when it comes out.
Yeah, it just, like I said, it was cavitating. You were sucking a little air for the water pump since we were in reverse, and that warmed it up a little bit. The drive is still underwater, down to 160 now. Okay, good. So we know you can't just run it long in reverse like that, you know, but at least we got to put it under a little bit of load. How's your oil pressure looking? About 78 pounds, okay. Okay, go ahead and shut it off for a minute. Now let's just wait a second. We'll do what's called a hot restart here. We'd like to do a full throttle and then kill it and then do a hot restart and take a look at a plug. But this fuel injected motor, I mean, you don't really got to check them. If they're running good, you know the plugs are going to look good. Okay, light that dude. All right, what's your oil pressure?
75.
75, okay, that's after it got hot just for a second. And what's your temperature?
160 on the dot.
160?
On the dot.
Okay, we're gonna give it a thumbs up, clean bill of health for a sea trial for the customer. We're gonna let it go. Hopefully he has a good experience. We're gonna double check the oil level before it leaves. We're gonna look at anything that might, you know, possibly be an issue. We're gonna fix that one hood shock. It's missing a clip. The clip is off on this side. And we got to put a zip ties around the gear oil reservoir because the rubber band is gone and we do not have another rubber band, but it had zip ties holding it. That'll be fine. It's not really under a load. And give it a bath and that's it, right? Okay. Okay, Rinker. Hotheads Marine, we're out.